Alright everyone, let's go Brandon! Back in the news yet again, along with Meta and all of these other things. The meme war is working. I told you initially, there was a period there where everyone was black-pilled. I think they're getting their mojo back a little bit because now this is happening. An airline pilot the other day said, "Let's go Brandon," over the little speaker in the plane. And immediately everyone flipped out. Now the legacy media is trying to convince people that it's basically the equivalent of an extremist, like an ISIS slogan. Literally comparing this dude to ISIS. There are moron leftoids on Twitter saying, well, if this crazy dude is willing to spout extremist slogans, because Let's Go Brandon has been branded extremist by people trying to defend Biden because it's clearly working to denigrate him. It's a satire. It's a mockery. So they're going to label it racist, extremist, hateful. It's incitement, whatever. None of these things are true, but Soccer Mom America, some of these idiots will believe them. Well then, would he be willing in the name of his extremism to crash the plane into the ocean or something, or into a building? I'm thinking to myself, there's a little bit of a difference between chanting Let's Go Brandon, which is funny, it's a meme, and hijacking and playing and committing terrorist attacks. These things don't seem like one isn't the same as the other. But these are leftoids. See, they love Joe Biden, and they're worried. This shows the terror that these people have at our efforts. The collective meme sphere of the internet. Independent content and grassroots memetic sort of material almost always wins against organized efforts. Organized efforts like Warren's meme team. You remember that from the 2020 election? Elizabeth Warren trying to hire a group of people to make political memes. It just became a self-satire. It was so cringy that it backfired. This has happened over and fucking over with establishment political movements and ideologies. Because the outsiders, they tend to be more tech literate, they tend to be more funny, they tend to be younger. And this is the case both from the far left groups, the non-establishment leftoids, and certainly from the libertarian sort of outside conservative non-rhino angle. Well, that's a lot of people. And the establishment doesn't like us. Because we're competing for viewership and therefore money and influence with NBC and CNN and all of these other groups. Every individual spends a certain amount of time absorbing information, which is why they constantly wage a war on misinfo that itself boils down to being misinformation. Well, the YouTube libertarian to alt-right pipeline, the new right-wing extremism being promulgated by independent voices, etc., etc. But these are the groups that promote war. It was funny, there was a tweet that was put out the other night, a video, and it shows a bunch of different news anchors, supposedly independent individuals. These are local news reporters. This isn't like, Tom Brokaw level. These are local and regional reporters saying virtually the same scripted thing with regards to online misinformation. The funny part is, of course, that itself is misinformation. When the Let's Go Brandon song gets downed by YouTube and by TikTok at the same time, maybe the establishment's a little bit worried. The fact is that this particular slogan has really taken off in a very memetic sense. It is clearly doing damage to Biden because the credibility of his asterisk administration is decreased when it is satirized. Criticism of it doesn't decrease its capabilities. Because the person, let's think from the perspective of a Dem partisan. Not one that's incapable of using reason, but someone who they lean towards the Dems, they voted for Biden, they were afraid of Trump, whatever. They're a Democrat fundamentally. If you criticize Joe Biden, cognitive dissonance will kick in, and they will defend Joe Biden. So if he says something screwy, well, he just misspoke. If he does something shitty, well, Trump did something worse. If he does something completely batshit, well, someone else must have been the one involved with that decision-making. Or here's the top 10 reasons why it's not actually that crazy. There's a precedent. Inflation could be worse. The border crisis could be worse. Building a wall is racist and stuff. Cognitive dissonance causes them to continue to back Joe Biden. Now let's say you have a single sentence that encapsulates everything wrong with the Biden administration. It's innocuous. There's no swear words in it or anything. It technically means fuck Joe Biden. But you're not saying that. You're saying let's go Brandon. You're attacking the legacy media's credibility because this started because of an NBC anchor during a NASCAR race trying to cover for Beijing Biden. You're attacking Joe Biden. How do you rebut it? Cognitive dissonance doesn't kick in, it's just a funny slogan. And the fact is that when it's surrounded by a bunch of cartoons and funny little quips and stuff like that, it gets past the dissonance better, which is why they're terrified of memes. These people can't do that. They can't pull off this sort of particular thing. The only thing the legacy media and the legacy political establishment can do is self-satirize. When they try to do something like this, it's basically like hitting yourself in the face with a pie. It's very amusing, very charming. It's like, oh, okay. It's basically like watching the stupid monkey in the zoo push the same button over and over that electrocutes its cock instead of giving it a banana. And at some point, I guess it just fucking likes it because it keeps doing it and clearly should know better. That's basically like watching the political establishment right now. A dumb orangutan with electrocuted scrotum. That's basically what it boils down to. That's about all. Peace out.